Welcome to part 2 of the video series, How Eve Became the Scapegoat of Paradise. In this video, we will explore the Apocryphon of John, an ancient text that reveals the secret teachings of Jesus to his disciple John. We will focus on 3 main segments. First, how the Apocryphon of John presents a reinterpretation of the Genesis story, where Eve is created by Yaldabaoth, the ignorant ruler of the material world. Second, we will discover that Eve is raped by Yaldabaoth and his angels, but her true spirit escapes. The serpent is the one who instructs her and Adam to eat from the tree of knowledge and liberate themselves from Yaldabaoth's control. And third, we will see how Eve gives birth to Cain and Abel from Yaldabaoth's seed and to Seth and Nerea from Adam's seed, who have the potential to return to the pleroma, the realm of perfection. So let's dive in. The Nag Hammadi writings do not reject the Old Testament, but reinterpret and correct it. I am not trying to discover the origin of the traditions, but studying the use of the traditions concerning Eve and how and why Eve is presented in a certain way in 4 Nag Hammadi texts. In the Apocryphon of John, heavenly epinoia is portrayed as dwelling inside Adam, enlightening his mind. Epinoia is thus a divine spark that connects humanity with the true God and the pleroma, the realm of perfection. The chief ruler wanted to bring the power out of Adam and caused him to fall into a deep sleep, meaning the darkening of his perception. Here you can see an excerpt from the creation narrative, even though it is quite long. Then Epinoia of the light hid herself in him, Adam, and the chief ruler wanted to bring her out of his rib. But Epinoia of the light cannot be grasped. Although darkness pursued her, it did not catch her. And he brought a part of his power out of him. And he made another form in the shape of a woman according to the likeness of Epinoia which had appeared to him. And he brought the part which he had taken from the power of the man into the female form, and not, as Moses said, his rib. And he saw the woman beside him, and in that moment luminous Epinoia appeared, and she lifted the veil which lay over his mind. And he became sober from the drunkenness of darkness. And he recognized his image, Tephain, and said, "This is indeed bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Because of this, the man will leave his father and his mother, and he will join to his wife, and they will both become one flesh. For his friend will be sent to him, and he will leave his father and his mother. It is our sister Sophia who came down in innocence in order that she might correct her deficiency. Because of this, she was called Life, which is the mother of the living, by pronoia of the authority of heaven. And through her they have tasted the perfect knowledge. I appeared in the form of an eagle on the tree of knowledge, which is epinoia from the pronoia of pure light, so that I might teach them and awaken them from the depth of sleep, for they were both in a fallen state, and they recognized their nakedness. The first notion is that earthly Eve is created by Yaldabaoth because he wanted to get hold of Epinoia, which was inside Adam. This is indicated in every version of the text. This creates a dichotomy between the characters of Epinoia and the female creation of Yaldabaoth. The texts also correct Genesis 2 verse 21, stating that the creation from the rib did not take place. One could ask, from where earthly Eve is then created? The statement that Yaldabaoth brought a new form probably refers to his activity as the creator god. He creates from the material of the physical world as he did with all his creation. So the essence of earthly Eve is from the substance of the chaotic earth, from the kingdom of Yaldabaoth, which is actually the same substance that Adam is created from. This links negative connotations to the origin of earthly Eve. In one version, Yaldabaoth succeeds in bringing some of the power out of Adam. It would be strange if this meant that Epinoia was left under the powers of Yaldabaoth. But apparently, Yaldabaoth brought something out of Adam. At this moment, it is clear that earthly Eve is created by Yaldabaoth. The fact that earthly Eve is created in the likeness of Epinoia does not raise her status, since she is about to lose the divine element inside her. It says Epinoia is somehow also inside earthly Eve. This, however, does not state the power of Yaldabaoth, but the reason why Epinoia is inside earthly Eve is clarified later when it comes to Eve's rape. Epinoia acts and comes to Adam and awakens his mind from the drunkenness of Yaldabaoth. Now Adam recognizes his fellow essence or image. It seems that this recognition is linked to the activity of epinoia, so it should be a positive thing. However, the term ousia later seems to refer to the sexual desire planted in Adam by Yaldabaoth in order to shackle humans into his physical world. This term refers also to procreation. However, the term ousia refers to Seth's descendants who share the same essence as Seth, Adam's son. There is ambivalence in the term used in one version. I think that in the creation scene, Adam's knowing of his essence is a negative thing because it leads to the becoming one flesh, linking it to procreation, which is a negative thing in the Apocryphon of John. So Adam recognizes his essence, earthly Eve, and after this comes the marital exclamation. How does the awakening act of epinoia then fit into this picture? It is uncertain, since it is stated that epinoia lifted the veil from Adam's mind and after this he sobered up. It would be logical to think that sobering up would refer to seeing epinoia. But who does Adam recognize? The positive interpretation of the essence/fellow essence or counter-image would also refer to epinoia. But then again, the statement about marriage does not fit into the picture. The variation between humans' cognitive status is strange. It can be said that Adam recognizes Eve with the help of epinoia in every version of the Apocryphon of John. The reference to marriage links this knowing to Seth's origin, which is about to come, since it is the first time when Adam knows Eve. Cain and Abel are the descendants of Yaldabaoth, so there is no need to link the sexual relationship to Adam and Eve when it comes to the origin of Cain and Abel. In later chapters of the Apocryphon of John says, "And the chief ruler defiled her and begot in her 2 sons, the first and the second, Elohim and Yahweh. Elohim has a face of the bear, and Yahweh has a face of the cat. The one is righteous, but the other one is unrighteous. Yahweh is righteous, but Elohim is unrighteous. Yahweh he set over fire and wind, and Elohim he set over water and earth. These are called Abel and Cain among all generations of men." The idea of epinoia as a helper of mankind, teaching humans to eat from the tree of knowledge, links her to the character of Eve in Genesis, where Eve gives the fruit to her husband. Adam also addresses epinoia as mother of all living, connecting her to the character of Eve. Earthly Eve again works as a character to whom the negative aspects of womanhood in the theology of the Apocryphon of John can be attached, like the idea of becoming one flesh with Adam. Epinoia and earthly Eve are connected, but only because the texts have to deal with the difficult fact that Seth has to be born. In the next video, we will explore the nature of the rulers, another Nag Hammadi text that tells a different version of the creation story and the role of Eve. We will see how this text portrays the archons, or the evil powers that rule the world, and how they try to trap humanity in ignorance and lust. We will also see how Eve is connected to various divine female beings, such as incorruptibility, voice, life, and spirit, who help Adam and his descendants to escape from the archon's influence. Stay tuned for more insights into this fascinating text.